I recently had the chance to ride the Mansfield Outdoor Centre trails. After the ride, I got to talk to Johnny. Johnny is making the Mansfield Outdoor Centre a place where you want to go and ride, hang out, bring the family, spend the weekend. Check out the interview. Tell us about the terrain and the location.
As you come into Mulmer, you'll see a sign that says, "Welcome to the hills of Mulmer," not the flats of Mulmer. So we have very hilly terrain here. There's several wonderful downhills, followed by obviously an uphill. What goes down must go up. One great thing about it is that it's a great wet weather destination. So if home trails are wet, you can always kind of count on getting a ride in here. We almost are never not open for riding. There might be a brief little period where the trails get sloppy in the spring a bit. We still almost permit it. It just won't be as good as it normally is.
Tell us a little bit about how the trails get made here.
I am an employee here. We have a great volunteer base. They just enjoy the fact that they are able to come somewhere and create with no barriers. What we've basically done is created sort of 3 different loops out here. So pretty much you can start on the blue loop and you just keep following blue arrows and blue signs, and that's going to loop you right back to the top of the hill. We have wooden features out here. We always let it go around that's signed, so there's always an option. None of the wooden features or trails we build here have like drops or anything that anybody can get hurt on. The idea is to build a trail that is good for a beginner, but then you have an advanced rider that can ride that same trail in a different way and still get a thrill from it. So now we have our newest trail that's called Happier Trail. There's a lot of fun stuff in that. There's lots more to come to that. We're adding wooden features, double jumps. There's a tabletop in it. So just have to rework it once you get trails. Yep.
You run 365 here.
We switch from summer biking to fat biking literally times in a week. And it seems in the spring, we can be riding a fat bike on a Wednesday. And by the following Wednesday, we're on our skinny bikes. We have a totally separate trail network that's dedicated to fat biking. And you can go for kilometers and kilometers and kilometers. The amount of snow we get, how we get it, the dedication of the groomer crew, like we'll be out here 8 hours with 4 people on 2 machines to groom the network we have here.
93% of your riders are visitors. Why do you think that is?
Collingwood is a big draw. Wonderful trails up there, but it's clay-based. So when it's too wet in Collingwood, it is primo here. Same with going down further south, Albion Hills, same thing. Great trail network down there, but a bit more clay-based. So I think that's what draws people in is the availability of wet weather riding primarily. And we do also groom out in Dufferin Forest as well. That network provides 35 kilometers of single track, which I think it's probably one of the larger dedicated fat bike networks in the area. That's probably a lot of it. You can come here and ride a different ride every time you come.
I'm glad you mentioned Dufferin because it's the same forest.
So the total properties, 2 properties together, are approximately around 2,000 acres, and we are actually a corner out of that. So we have 2 direct access points, one to the north and one to the east, accessing the Dufferin Trail network, which is maintained by volunteers as well. That I'm a part of Team Van Gogh, that for years have done majority of the work out there. The beauty of that is that MOC is here to support the Dufferin Trails. They actually provide funding for grooming. They provide funding for Team Van Gogh for our liability insurance, our equipment. Part of your pass you buy here, some of that money goes into maintaining Dufferin Forest. We're trying to show that we're here to build a cycling community, not just a trail center. It's bigger. There's a bigger plan in mind.
According to Trail Forks, the average ride time is 1 hour and 26 minutes, and the average distance is 21 kilometers.
That sounds about right. I think because of the elevation that you can have here, that seems to be a number that most people like to strive for. 1 hour and a half is a good amount of time out there.
Sure. What sort of mountain bike events do you have here on the property?
We have 8 or 9 this year. We have a fat bike race in February. We've been hosting the Epic 8 now for several years. We have the ability to offer very different courses. I mean, the 3 Epic 8s we've had since we opened, again, they've been completely different courses. And even this year, there's 2 new trails that have been built that weren't even here at last year's Epic 8 that we are now featuring in this. So if someone comes back for this Epic 8, they're like, well, that's a different course again because we simply built 2 new big trails. I think it's important that you're not doing the same course each time you come back. We're having another Oak Cup for the 2nd year in a row. Substance Projects runs a few events here. Events aside, it's great because people can come up tonight and camp here for the evening. We have river access at Pine River. Great place to have a swim afterwards. We just recently opened a restaurant, our main lodge called the Pine River Cafe. So we're in a good little groove about having all the events here we like.
Thanks very much for taking the time today.
Thanks
really,
for being here.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, Tim.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, thanks for all the work you do.